Well, you knew what was going to happen. 22 hours, we're going to have a little bit of an issue. Hopefully, everybody can hear me now. Um, it would most certainly be nice to know if I can be heard. Let me see what just came through. Um, so, but we're going to go on ahead and we're going to carry on with this. And once again, I hope you're hearing me. I hope that this is broadcasting. Once again, my name is Zach Clayton. I am the president and founder of Community Pay It Forward. We are here for veteran suicide, and we want to make sure that you understand the seriousness of this problem. We will be spending all day long uh, today. Wow, I'm not getting anything going on here. We are. Yeah. Hey, there it is. It was actually working. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing. So anyway, we're going to go on from here. We're going to try this again. Hey, we're going to be shutting down for 5 minutes in between a couple hours, and we'll let you know when that happens. And we're just doing that to reset the times because the social media places, they have a limit on how long you can be on there. So we're going to be switching from Community Pay It Forward, which you're on right now, on if you're on Facebook, and we're going to be moving it to the new pACT channel. That's something that we really want to bring to your attention. pACT channel is now up and running. And what we're going to be doing with the pACT channel is we're going to be bringing on some of the podcasts that used to be found in other places. We're going to be bringing them on as a organization in order to make sure that this great word gets out. We're not at liberty to tell you what podcasts are coming on yet, but we're hoping by later on today, we will have that ability to let you know. So we are we're up and running. We've got stuff going. We're going to be joined again here real shortly by Jay from TotalSpeed.com. Jay is hosting our new website through his wonderful program. Our emails come from Jay from Total Speed. Our domain names we get from Jay from Total Speed. Very, very inexpensive. 30-day money-back guarantee. And good morning, JR. It's great to see you, brother. It's pretty early for you, my friend. So here's this is for you. You can join us at any time, JR, for the first segment. And wow, I guess I need to powder my head. Look at that. Either that or I got green screen going on my forehead. So anyway, JR is going to, JR is the founder and vice president. Sorry, his wife's the boss of the president. It is 2:00 in the morning. I'm just going to say it. It is 2:00 in the morning of the Veterans Ranch, one of the great organizations that we are that we're raising money for here today. And we want you to know that we do have a place that's going to be all over Facebook today. We're going to share it wherever. We just need you to go on ahead and please donate whenever you can. Okay, donate whatever you can. These groups of individuals are trying really, really hard to end the suicide epidemic, and we need your help. There's a plan in place. We just need help building it up. We watched a video the other day where a group told us that they need $1 billion to make this happen. I'm going to tell you this right now. With $1 billion, the group that we have created, the coalition that we've created, could set up in multiple states. We're talking probably at least 30 states. Okay? $1 billion would be great. But you know what? We just need to do something now. So we're going to ask you to today Dedicate yourself to 22 of something. Donate $22. Donate 22 minutes to feeding somebody today. Tell 22 people about this event today. We've got everything from Happy Neighborhood Project. We've got everything from other podcasts are going to be joining us today. We've got our great guest from the horse. Hey, look at that. From the Veterans Ranch. How do you like this look there, JR? You can see through my head.
I like it. I like it. You need your F-Troop hat.
Yeah. Well, I might actually have to pull it out. Either that or powder my head, one of the two. So.
Hey, brother, I was not about to let you start this 22-hour-long day by yourself. Yes, it's 4 a.m. in Central Florida. We're all up before the sun. I have my man cave of coffee. There's like half a pot right there just to start.
That's fantastic. I've got my little can of Diet Pepsi to give.
Yeah, we are going to rock and roll and do some great things today, brother. We got some great guests coming in here today. So proud of everything you've been doing, and just happy to be here. Just happy to be awake at 4 a.m. Any day above the dirt's better than one below.
That's right, and that's one of the things that we're trying to ensure, that we have more veterans waking up every day. We've got too many that are making end of life decisions, and when that happens, the only thing we can do is react. And if we're reacting to it, it's too late. We've said it before. We've said it over and over again. Tell us a little about the Veterans Ranch while we're waiting for Jay to reconnect, would you?
Yeah, absolutely. It formed in December of 2017, so we just started year 5. Formed with the mission of assisting veterans in their immediate household family through equine therapy, through God's majestic animal, the horse. I've been told the last few weeks they watched Yellowstone too when I say this, but they stole my line. God's majestic animal can feel a gnat. It is, like you said, 4 a.m. here. You can feel a gnat land on its back. So what do you think it feels from you 2 feet away, folks? The short answer is everything. So, we are going to put a grooming brush in your hand. We're going to get you to start building a bond of trust with an animal that's born inherently not to trust you, and get you to start laying down heavy coats of burden and walking off into an improved version of yourself. Our mutual friend, Brian Gibson from Project Die Hard, him and I were speaking on Sunday, and he notified me that 2 more in his area decided to check out. It's just that's why we're here today. It's just too damn important. And, part of this, all this money being raised is going to a lot of great organizations, folks out there watching. It's not just going to the Veterans Ranch. It's not just going to Brian Gibson and Project Die Hard. And we're asking the world out here to give a buck about veterans and their issues. If we had 22 million people each give a buck, imagine the amazing impact we could all have within the veteran community. So that's kind of us in a nutshell here. There's a whole lot that's going to get unpacked throughout the day that we'll continue to talk about, but that's us in a nutshell. And Zach's had our thing there, scrolling across the bottom as well, theveteransranch.org. If you have any questions, about who we are and what we do, be more than happy to talk to you.
Yeah, and we're going to be sharing that throughout the day. JR is going to be back periodically throughout the day, joining us at different times and just to check in, make sure that I'm awake still, which would be a good thing. JR, you were in with us when we saw that video on how they need $1 billion to resurrect this building. And there wasn't anybody who sat in our meeting that walked out of that in a good mood, because that's putting too much. It's bureaucracy. Let's just be honest here. Okay. That's just government red tape. That's just government BS. All right. We're going to play it real today. We're going to try to keep it a family show, but we're going to be honest with you. That's bull. You don't need $1 billion to do anything in this world. You don't.
No,
that's worth $1 billion. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, like you say, it's bureaucracy, it's government red tape, it's organizational red tape, it's under the table payments. You know, all you had to do is watch a few seasons of The Sopranos when it was on and understand scheduled work stoppages, strikes, going to congressmen and senators and things for more money, where the money goes from the left pocket to the right pocket to get shuffled around to keep something going. No, that about made my blood boil to watch that, and there's no reason for that to happen. The veteran suicide number should not be going up; it should be going down. Active duty Army suicides up 46% this time last year, and you know we'll keep driving this point home throughout the day. It's not just ones deployed. You know, with Brian's forward operating base Rush being named after Courtney Rush, who never saw a day downrange. But because of her job, and I'll let Brian share all that later today, but because of her job, the demons got a hold of her and she lost her battle. So it's just too damn important to not talk about anymore.
Right. And this isn't a battle that you can take and pull yourself back from, recoup, and go again. This is the end. This is a battle that there is no tomorrow.
That's it.
So, you know, this is why we've been saying, look, this day is going to be dedicated to saving lives. This isn't a day of playing around. 22 hours listening to me talk, that's not easy for me either. So, but, you know, the truth is that we need to do this because we need to be there for the ones who have been there for us. And we're going to be asking you to join us all day long. As JR has mentioned, we've got some great guests. We've got some guests from my paranormal world now. With my new fiance, you know, I've gotten into this whole paranormal world, and here in about 10 minutes, I'm going to be joined by my boss on Fridays. I produce his show, and the Reverend, you know, and it's we just call him the Rev, but it's a lot of fun. And one of the things that we're going to be doing today is when people make a donation today, we're going to be giving away prizes. Okay. If you make a donation today, we're going to give away a prize. One of the prizes is a signed book by the Reverend. It's called God, Ghosts, and the Paranormal Ministry. This is a good man, okay? I know that I'm not a Catholic, you know, or any of this stuff, but talking to this gentleman, I have one hell of a time talking to him. We have a lot of fun. I enjoy producing his show. He has some really interesting guests on Fridays on the Things Network, so I ask you all to check that out. And then once again today, after we're done with our 8 hours on this Facebook page, we're going to switch over to the pACT channel. And JR, this ought to excite you. The pACT, the channel that was strictly for my podcast, is now a channel that's going to be bringing on other podcasts that we lost, that we damn near lost this weekend. So we're going to start picking up some of these great podcasts, and a couple of them are going to be premiering today on this 22-hour thing. So we're extremely excited about that. We've got a lot going on. JR, do me a favor and keep checking in with us, okay? And please make sure that you keep going on in the comments and make sure that you leave this very important website right there, or even, you know, just let us know what you got going on. Make sure that you check out the merchandise store. Right here's the merchandise store. Make sure you go on there, okay? Because there's some really, really cool stuff. He's got coffee cups, hoodies, T-shirts. What else do you have on there?
Cell phone cases.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, cell phone rings that go on the back of your phone so you can hold it and not drop it. You name it, we got it. Working on getting hats. Just haven't found a good American hat that, you know, is cheap enough to sell for under $30 a hat. So
yeah.
But we got a lot of great stuff there, and we just thank you for the promotion, and we're definitely going to be peeking in throughout the day.
And let me guess, Stetsons don't work right?
No, I don't think I could sell Stetsons for under $30 a piece with the Veterans Ranch across the top of it.
Yeah, you know, there's always hope, right? So
yeah, that's right. I am working on a straw hat though, but yeah, felt Stetsons.
Yeah, we got, you know, that's actually kind of funny because we got, you know, here in Greeley, since we have the world's largest Fourth of July parade, we see all those funny straw hats that come out every year. So, you get all those goofy ones. So, but JR, you're going to help us run the Happy Neighborhood Project today at 3 Eastern. And you're going to be on there talking, and we invite you to join us at the Happy Neighborhood Project event. So this is something that's open to all of us. And, if what we're going to do is you're going to be introduced to a lot of the players today. You're going to be introduced to a lot of the people who have dedicated their lives to saving others, and including JR and Brian. You've already talked to him, Justin. And Justin is going to be premiering his podcast later on this morning right here. So we're looking forward to that as well. But thank you for getting up with me, my friend. Looks like you probably need to go and shovel out horse stuff, don't you?
Yeah, just a little.
Yeah. Well, got horses, got stuff. So
that's right. Always got something to do.
So as JR likes to say, will you give a buck? That's all we're asking. Give a buck today. Make sure that you're doing 22 of something, please. Today is too important. Tell 22 people about this podcast. Donate $22. Whatever you have to do. Do 22 of something in memory of the 22 potentially losses today, okay? But let's make that even better. Let's save 22 lives today. Let's come together and let's save 22 lives today. Let's save 22 lives tomorrow. Let's save 22 lives the next day. And then if we get this going, if we get this done right, if we get the financial security behind this, we can really start turning this around. And mental health is a huge issue right now. We know that, and it's tough everywhere. And we would love to be able to sit there and say, you know what? We're going to help everybody with suicide issues. Well, we got to start here. We've got to start somewhere, and our heroes are important to JR, to myself. We're civilians. We're schlubs. We did not raise our hand, okay? We're doing this because we respect everything that they did go through, everything they're still going through, everything their families are going through. So please make sure you stick with us today. Once again, JR, enjoy your fun there in Florida. Oh, by the way, it's below zero right here. So
yeah, sorry, not sorry.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna tell you what nice temperature. It's crisp for Floridians, I'll say that. But it's
70?
No, it's in the 40s.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah. That's crisp for Floridians, but yeah, sorry, not sorry about your temperatures.
Yeah, I woke up this morning. I looked at the temperature. I was going to go out for a little walk just to try to wake myself up.
All you had to do is step out the door. You were awake.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't even step out the door. I looked at the temperature and I'm like, yep, I'm up.
Yeah, it's like, I'm good. Yeah, whatever, you brought up a real valid point there, Zach. What everybody needs to understand is our veteran community is 1% of the population, yet they make up 20% of the suicide rate number. If that doesn't ruffle your feathers, you check your heartbeat, because, everybody out here watching and listening today, because that's a staggering number.
It's an upsetting number and it should be an upsetting number to everybody. I mean, this is not a number that can continue this way. And if we're going to get a start on, if we're going to get a start on stopping suicide, we need to get started now. And today is the best day to start. God's blessed us with this date, the 2nd of February, the second month, which is February 22nd, 2022. So this is a perfect day to raise this, not awareness, but raise the fob. That's what today should be about. We're done raising awareness. It's time to raise the fob. So let's get this going. We can do this together. All we have to do is come together today. JR, thank you very much. We will see you soon.
Yes, sir. I'll be in throughout the day. Make sure you're still awake. Give you that shot of energy you need, and And again, just help promote all of us in this just immensely important day. So we appreciate it. And as we all say, we love y'all. God bless. Take care. Giddy up.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. So once again, that's JR. You're going to be seeing a lot from him today. He's going to be joining us throughout the day. He's, not only a dear friend, but, he's a great guy. He and I met late last year and we just connected, and there couldn't be two guys that are, probably any further separated, because we just have different ways of doing things. He's cowboy, I'm not. I'm F troop, as he likes to call me. So but the thing is that we both believe in what we're doing today. We both believe in our veterans, and we both believe that a life being saved is important enough to sit here, right here, for 22 hours and talk to you guys about it. There might be times when I'm going to be sitting here and I'm going to have a little bit of shall we say, problem talking about things. But you know what? You've got a chat right in front of you. Today, we're going to be asking for your SOS. Give us a story or give us a suggestion. How can we approach somebody who's trying to make an end-of-life decision? How can we approach them? This is important. We need to open the dialogue. If we can work on opening dialogue with people, we can save lives. But as Brian tells us all the time, if you're going to ask somebody what's wrong, you better be ready to sit there and listen. Okay? It does you no good to ask them if you're not going to listen to what they say. So, wow. I'm again having another issue here with the with StreamYard. So I apologize very much for this. We've been waiting for JR to join, or for Jay to join us again, and unfortunately, they switched accounts on me or something. So please be patient with me. We'll get this done again, and we're going to end up having two guests on right now, which is going to be okay. We just we'll just keep things going. Once again, please expect a little bit of problems. I'm not a professional. I guess I'm a trained idiot, but that's about it. So, as we've mentioned, we're working with JR and the Veterans Ranch, and he's got a lot of stuff going on out there. You can see JR in Central Florida. You can see JR joining us. And sorry about that, Jay. I don't know what happened.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, I think you can hear me, but not getting sound. But the app shows that my sound works.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Yeah, JR.
Not hearing you.
Oh, well, let's try this. Hey,
I know.
Hey,
can Sean hear you?
Can you?
I can hear Jay.
Like
I can hear both of you.
I'm getting nothing. Sorry, man.
Yeah,
Something
Jay.
wrong with this app.
Oh, if you want to join me, Jay. Oh, well, you can't do that yet. So, good morning, Rev. How are you doing?
Wait. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I'm getting sound now. Okay.
Oh, all right, great.
Yeah, the other link, there was something up with it, but this link seems to be okay.
Well, that's great. So
cool.
We're due to Mr. Rev, you know the way things go with technical difficulties. Usually that only happens when I'm at the board, and guess what? I'm at the board. So, Jay, I'd like to introduce you to a great friend of mine. This is the Reverend Sean. He's a paranormal minister and the author of this great book that we're going to be giving away today. If somebody makes a donation, we're going to pick a winner. There's going to be a lot of things flying out the door today. So Jay is the one who's hosting our new website. He is also the ones where we get our domain names from, our emails from. Jay from TotalSpeed.co is a fantastic company. I mean, just great. And he's been with us for quite a while. So Sean, tell me, you're in a minute. You're a minister. You found God in a destructive way. God talked to you when you were going through a destructive path. Am I correct on this?
I know you only have me on for 30 minutes, so I'll give you the abridged version. I'm an ordained exorcist. I'm baptized Catholic, but ordained through a Christian university. I was created to do this and be on this path today. Having said that, I'm 62 years old, and there have been a couple of times in my life where, if it wasn't for extreme divine intervention, I want to say several times, if it wasn't for extreme divine intervention, I wouldn't be talking with you two tonight. So yes, I'm big on faith, big on God, big on Jesus, big on angels and guardian angels especially, and all that good stuff. But yes, absolutely.
Yeah. What you and I talked about this, and you've got a very smart way of doing it, to where if somebody comes to you, you make sure that you point them in the right direction. But if somebody comes to you with a life-ending issue, you point them in the right direction. Well, what do you do to make sure that they stay safe until that right direction is connected? What would you tell somebody?
Me personally, I do so much praying for people that because I am a big believer in the power of prayer. Unfortunately, so many people that and my father was a 25-year retired Master Chief Radioman from the United States Navy. I did a small tour in the Navy myself. I've, over the years, had many friends commit suicide. I've met many people on the verge, especially soldiers, sailors, people that served our country proudly, police officers, first responders too. I've met so many people over the years that have, unfortunately, couldn't find a way to deal with their inner demons and made the unfortunate choice to leave us all here heartbroken behind, missing them terribly, and to go on to, that next great unknown journey that they've gone on before us. And what's so sad to me about that is it's just, I know a person when they get to that point feels that there's nothing left, and that uh, I believe many of them, from what some of them have told me, almost feel as though they're doing some greater good to, the powers that be, or the people that are in their lives that they feel they may be hurting at the time, that they're doing everybody this great favor to rid us of them. And that couldn't be further from the truth. There's such a void and a hole left behind in this particular fabric of time that they are attached to on this particular journey. I mean, you break God's heart, you make God cry, you make the angels cry, you make everybody that's ever known you, that has loved you and respected you, that every time they think of you, maybe that you put a smile on their face. And even if you don't put a smile on their face, nobody wishes that anybody else commits suicide or ends their journey by their own hand. The person that does that leaves behind so many broken hearts. I wish there was a way to show them that and convey that to them. I It's like walking on eggshells, man, because I know these people that come to me for help, that some of them are in that situation, are hanging over the edge of the abyss by their fingernails, emotionally, spiritually. Many of them don't have any religious belief system in place. Many of them then, don't believe in God. So it's really hard. Um, I don't necessarily, I'm not the kind of guy that gets his preach on and tries to convert people, because that can be a big turnoff to some people. So I just, you know, the same way I approach spiritual warfare. And because trust me, there's a fair amount of diabolical action going on behind the scenes that that contributes and eggs on and gets a person to that point. Believe you me. So with all the other issues going on, there's that going on behind the scenes too. So I keep it simple. I try to do what I do best, which is approach it that way. I do a lot of praying for the person. I try and tap into my gift of discernment from the Almighty and channel that Holy Spirit through and try to get any help I can from above to come through me to help that person, for lack of a better term. And I know this term is overused, but to see the light and try to stop them from doing that. My, you know, 2 times in my life, I have this. I haven't told this story. I don't know if I've told you this story, but 2 times in my life, I've been saved by my guardian angel, and I know she's a guardian angel. I've had some people tell me that she is more of a spirit guide, but I believe she is truly a guardian angel. And here's the thing: she looks like Susan Sarandon. True story, like a young Susan Sarandon from like early Rocky Horror Picture times.
Okay.
And she appeared to me when I was a young boy living in Southern California. I was drowning off the coast. I went out swimming at a beach, got out too far, got caught in a riptide. You know, I was losing my strength being able to come back and get to shore, kept getting sucked further and further out to sea. And I remember I was about to go under for the third time, and they always say, you go under the third time and you don't come up. And just before that happened, I heard this voice say, swim this way. And I looked over, dog paddling in the water. I could just see her head, just feet from me off into one direction was this girl. Swim this way. So I just swam that way. And I got out of the riptide, followed her in to shore. When my feet felt sand below me, I walked and then crawled the rest of the way up to shore. There's a lifeguard waiting for me, and he says, "Dude, you made it. I was just getting ready. You know, I could tell you were in trouble. I was just getting ready to run it to swim out there and give you a hand. I could tell you were in some trouble." I asked him, "Well, I'd like to thank the girl that came out and helped me. Where's the girl?" And he said, "What girl? There's I mean, it was late in the day. There was hardly anybody on the beach, let alone out there swimming with me. There was no girl around. So that was the first time. Second time, many years later, actually third. I'm going to give her credit for 3 times. Many years later, uh, I've already gone in the Navy and gotten out of the Navy, and I spent years and years and years a raging alcoholic and drug addict, raging. And I went to this party to say goodbye to a good friend that was leaving not only the job that we were at, but like the state and possibly even the country. So this was a going away party. Of course, I got hammered and I've got a long, like an hour's drive home. And some of my friends took my keys from me, tried to hide them, tried to fight me to keep me from getting in my truck. And I, unfortunately, during those years, I was a bit of an animal too, so a lot
Yeah.
of people didn't want to, you know, butt heads with me. So eventually got my keys, got in my truck, made the long drive home, and I read the police report nowadays, and I've got a copy of it. I was apparently falling asleep at the wheel and swerving bad, and a highway patrolman was just about to pull me over, and I just remember here, according to the report, I all of a sudden from the fast lane just made a sharp turn to the right and was going across all the lanes and headed off to the side of the freeway and off a cliff. I was in a canyon region area of the Southern California. And all I remember is a girl yelling at me, like right in my face and in my ear, louder than I've ever heard anybody yell, "Wake up." And when I raised my head up, I'm slumped over to the right, staring at the passenger seat, and here's that girl sitting in the truck. I look up and I see this cliff coming. And all my natural reaction, and I'm sure I also had help there with this, I just yanked the wheel to the left, fishtail, just missing the edge of the cliff. I drove back over all of the lanes of the freeway and went head on into the center divider, the concrete center divider, flipped end over end onto the other side of the freeway. That's all I remember for about a week until I woke up in the hospital. Now, when I go back and I look at my truck, which I was never able to drive it again, the engine is in the seat where I was. The roof is all the way down where I would be. Nobody, you look at that, and if you didn't know any better, you would say, well, the poor SOB that was driving that truck is dead.
Right.
Well, I wasn't. And here I am. I wake up a week later in the hospital, staring at my mother and father. May they both rest in peace. And all I have is a broken arm, a broken wrist, actually. That's it. So now, fast forward many years. I've gone through all of that. One day, I decided that I was done with alcohol and drugs. I was done. I guess I can't tell you how I came to that, but somehow I came to that point in my life. And I didn't know what to do. I didn't know if I should go to AA or I should go to NA or if I should, get a psychologist help, or I didn't know what to do. But so I did what I've always done when I was in severe trouble in my life, my whole life, because I've always believed in God, loved God. I know He believes in me. He created me. I know He loves me. But you've got to be at a point where when you talk to God, and you don't have to do it any special way. It's disappointing to how many people I meet to this day that don't even know how to pray. Well, don't worry about how to pray. Just make the sign of the cross, right hand, touch your forehead, touch your chest, touch your heart, touch your other shoulder. Name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit, amen. Clasp your hands together, get on your knees if you can, and just talk to God as if He's standing there in front of you. And if you don't believe in God, most people that don't believe in God, oddly enough, believe in evil. If there is evil, true evil, and trust me, there is. I'm an ordained exorcist. Trust me, there is. Then there has to be the flip side of that coin. There has to be a much more powerful, a higher vibrational power of love and light that's the opposite of that, above us, watching over us, because evil is so low vibrational. So I don't care what name you want to attach to that. And I have very many friends who are of indigenous blood, indigenous heritage. And I asked, do we believe this, pray to the same God, the great Father? Is He my God? No one knows. But they believe in a great Father and a God. And just imagine whoever this is, whatever face you want to put to it or not, whatever name you want to put to it, God or something else, speak openly and from the heart and from your soul to this entity as if it's right there in front of you, and ask for help and mean it. And I one day just said to God, I'm done, man. I don't want to have, I know you exist. You know that I know you exist. I know you love me. You know that I love you. I'm going to ask you to, I hate to do it, God, but this time I'm going to ask you to really prove it to me. And I want to wake up tomorrow and never have another drink or take any other drugs again. I don't even remember that night so much as just, life happens, long time passed by, and I was just, and my wife didn't even really bring it up much. And I just remember us either over lunch or breakfast or dinner one day, or maybe even watching a movie. We just looked at each other and we couldn't remember the last time. It had been years. We couldn't remember the last time I'd had even a beer or a glass of wine or went out with any buddies and did some drugs or anything. So divine intervention is there, but God gives us free will. He's waiting for you to ask for the help and truly mean it. And so that was a long roundabout way to answer your question, but I'm a big fan of keeping it simple. When I am talking to people, I'm not an expert on how to talk people down off of that ledge. But what I can do is just try to convey to them that all the, as much as they feel their heart is broken and their soul is an empty shell, and they've got nothing left, I try to convey to them that all of the heartache that they are going to leave behind if they do this, including the ultimate, and God's real, the ultimate um, sin to God for having given you this life, that you've got to find a way. You've just got to find a way to get help. Um, and the people that you reach out to for help, you may not be feeling them. You may want to keep looking for help, whether it be, Bible classes or support groups at the nearest church, or a psychologist or a psychiatrist, or these help centers that reach out to, are there for people who are feeling suicidal. Do something, anything. The worst thing you can do is do nothing and just wait until there's no more waiting left, because you've broken everybody's heart. But it's just a really, really sad thing. The numbers are off the chart with vet
Yeah.
suicides, and that's a shame, because here they're vets. I go, we have, oh my gosh, I can't even adequately describe to you what our homeless area looks like down here. Even when I moved here to Vegas 30 years ago, it was big, but now it's like its own city. And some of the people I talk to are just, and they're vets. Not only is the number of vets suicides off the charts, but homeless vets. What happened to this world, man, that we got into this situation where, you know, well, I know many of them, because of what they've experienced in the service, has done a number on their mind and on their psyche, and so they don't really have a support group in place to help them reacclimate after they're out done serving to this world of ours, the private sector, civilian life, and it's crazy out here. Um, and I wasn't a big fan of the Navy the time I was in. I used to call my dad all the time and tell him stuff that was happening to me and how I felt about it, and he would say, "Son, it's not my Navy anymore. And when you're done doing your commitment, your immediate commitment with them, if you don't want to re-enlist and you want to come home, the door's open for you. And you know where the key's at if it is locked. So come home then." And that's exactly what I did. So, but just try to get some help. You'd be surprised. And I'm speaking to the people out there that are listening to me that are, you know, you know, maybe you're feeling me, maybe you're not feeling me. Talk to somebody. You'd be surprised how many people out there will listen to you and do their best to help you, or at least try to find you the right people that can help you. And you know, just it's just really, really, really sad. And I wish I could. Before this segment is over with you, I've already picked a couple of very special prayers that I want to put out there to everybody. So remind me to do that before we say goodbye to one another. But I just wish there was more I could do. And I'm just going to throw this out there to anybody that wants to reach out to me, whether it be private messages on Messenger and Facebook, or email me. And my email is Shawn, SHAWN, LVNV, as in Las Vegas, Nevada, at hotmail.com. Shawn, LVNV, at hotmail.com. You can send me an email and I'll talk to you, man. I'll listen to you. We'll work this thing out together. But get some help. And just thinking about all the people out there right now, my heart's breaking and my soul's crying over that. And it's just, I wish I could do more.
Well, the thing is, and in which I do want to thank you again. You know, it's even earlier for you than it is for me, and for you to give up your time to come and join us. It means a lot to me. But just doing what you're doing, which is simply talking and showing people that there is a chance, you know, that there is a difference, that, you know, everybody's got a story. We know that. And listening to people's stories is one of the reasons why I want to do this today, because your story could really trigger somebody and make them realize that, yeah, you know, maybe that does sound familiar, and it can help lead them to somebody else. So, you know, to me, it's so important to make sure that everybody hears stories about potentially tragic situations that turn out, let's not say good, but turn out in a positive light, you know. And you and I have become quick friends, thanks to some lady who went on ahead and got a job and said, here, you need to help me with this. And so now I get to produce your show. You're on Things Network, this Facebook page, and what was the other channel? I'm sorry.
I believe, well, I have my own. It's Reverend Sean Whittington's Paranormal Ministry Live, Facebook Live page. I know that you send it over. You live stream it also over to the Paranormal United Network,
That's right.
Paralanx.
Yeah.
But they've got two of them. They got Paralanx and they've got Paralanx 2. I'm live streamed on the 2, the one that has the number 2 on it. You also live stream me to Things Network.
Yep.
And I'm not sure where else you send me.
Yeah, I think that's it for right now. So,
and then afterwards, after the show's over, of course, the archives always remains there on all those places where it was live streamed. But then I download it and send it to my YouTube channel, which is Reverend Sean Whittington. And so they're always there for people to listen to. I've been blessed, truly blessed, to have interviewed some of the most wonderfully blessed people I could imagine ever having the pleasure to have met. So, everybody's got the open invitation to go there. And I'm not asking for people to go there and subscribe and donate or none of that. But go there and you might, find some really cool interviews with some really cool people and have a good time, you know.
I will tell you this, your last 2 shows have been so energetic and so exciting. They've just been a lot of fun, but I've enjoyed being part of about 6 shows now. And it's a lot of fun. And the last 2 shows have just been a real kick in the pants because, you know, the guests were awesome. And, you know, and it's kind of funny when things start going a little off the rails, but you always get to be, you know, you're always able to pull them back on. So, and quite honestly, I kind of try to do that to you every once in a while, you know, hey, let's see how I can confuse the Rev. So, but you're doing a great job. You wanted to go on ahead and leave us with a prayer, and I'll let you go and get on with your day, sir.
Okay, I'm going to leave you guys with a prayer, and then so that I don't leave everybody out, I'm going to bring somebody's attention to, for all of you numerologists out there that believe in that, and I believe there's a little bit of something to that. I'm going to go over something with you real quick. But what I want you guys to know, I'm going to light a candle for everybody, and I'm going to say this prayer. And everybody that can see my face and within the sound of my voice, while I say this prayer and light this candle, I want you to reach forward, touch your computer screen, close your eyes, and bow your head. Now, I'm going to first light a candle. And this is for each and every person within the sound of my voice. This candle, may the Holy Spirit enter and intervene in the lives of every person within the sound of my voice and remain with you for the rest of this journey and on to the next. Now, this candle will stay with a very special card, a St. Jude card, and he is the patron saint of impossible causes. Of course, also the patron saint of police officers and hopeless causes and all of that. But this candle will remain burning for each and every one of you with St. Jude until the candle burns out. It'll remain there. So here's our prayer. And if anybody misses this segment or didn't quite get this prayer, I will post this to the Reverend Sean Whittington's Paranormal Ministry Facebook Live page. You can go back and download the prayer if you want. But in the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. O Lord, let me hear you. My soul is weary. Worry, fear, and doubt surround me on every side. Yet your sweet mercy cannot be held back from those that cry out to you. Hear my cry. Let me trust in your mercy. Show me how. Free me. Free me from anxiety and stress, that I may find rest in your loving arms. Amen. Okay, real quick for all you numerologists out there. This is February 22nd of 2022. 2/22/22. Let me tell you the significance of this. February 22nd, 2022 is 22222 in numerology. 22222 resonates with the power of 2, of 5, and 10. 2 is love, 5 is change, and 10 is the end and beginning of a cycle. So it contains infinite possibilities. This means that this portal is the end of a cycle, the start of a cycle, and change in matters of love, career, family, home, and life as a whole, with its endless possibilities. This 2 portal is also on a Tuesday, another sign of synchronicity. The universe is yelling, get ready for change in your life. Emit love and appreciation at this time, and stay open-minded and hearted to receive miracles at this time.
That is fantastic. I love that. Sean, Rev, thank you. Thank you so much for doing this for me.
I love you. I respect you. Give my
I
best
love
to
you, my friend.
Adrian, and I'll see you on Friday. And to everyone out there that is has tuned in, I'm telling you, I will be praying for each and every one of you the rest of this evening, and just hang in there. There is something greater than us watching over you that loves you. Hang in there. Be strong.
That's right. Thank you. And one more time, we are giving away a copy of Reverend Sean's book today to somebody who donates to us. Okay, we're going to put all the names in a hat, and there are going to be people who win prizes today. And you know what? If we have enough prizes, we'll give a prize to everybody who donates $1, everybody who donates $100. It does not matter. Every dollar we have today is closer to saving lives. So please make sure you hit our job form today. Thank you, Rev. We will talk to you on Friday. Thank you, sir, again.
God bless you all. Peace.
Thank you. We're now being joined by a great friend, Denise. How are you doing, my dear?
I'm doing wonderful. I got the end there of the prayer. What a beautiful prayer. And imagine the possibilities. Wow, I love that.
Yeah, and the numerology thing, I've never really put any thought into it. But amazing how that numerology works with what we're doing today. We're really trying to make a difference in the world of numerology. This is a perfect day to do it.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's interesting because I would say, whatever faith you have, whether you want to say God or the universe, it definitely works with you. It just knows what you need when you need it.
Yep, that's right. So, Denise, tell us a little about what Live Creative is.
So, Live Creatively is the name of my company, and I named it that because I have a disability, and That's never really stopped me from doing anything I've wanted to do in life. I just always had to get creative. So therefore, I've always lived creatively, and that's why I named my company that. I really hope that when people um, think about the challenges that they have in life, that they just also know that there's always a way around it, right? We just got to get creative and think outside the box.
You always tell a beautiful, beautiful yet heartbreaking story about when you were a 10-year-old child.
Uh, yes. Actually, I was 8 years old.
8 years, sorry. Yeah.
So I used to get sick a lot. I still do. I tell people that you can be all the way on the other side of the world, and if you sneeze, I'll catch it. So I was 8 years old, and I was in the hospital with pneumonia. And I overheard the doctor tell my mom that I would not make it to the age of 10. But here I am, 43 years later. I'm 53, and I love telling people my age, even though I know that a lot of women don't like sharing their age, and even men. But I love sharing my age because we all know our birthday, but absolutely no one knows their expiration date.
That is so true. And I used to always joke with people a little bit and tell them, yeah, I know when I'm going to die. My birth certificate or my driver's license has an expiration date, so I guess I'm not going to be alive anymore after that, but it was always a joke. But you're right. We don't know. And, it's one of those things that some people may find it scary. I particularly don't. I don't want to rush it. But I think that if we spend our lives doing what you do, which is helping people, I think that what happens is you make it a life well lived. And I truly believe that, if you spend your life helping people, then you have something to look forward to after life. Whether that's like the Rev would say that there's an afterlife in heaven, whether that's even a legacy, you leave a legacy behind. You can do things by simply being a good person to others. One of the ways that we can be good to each other is trying to talk to somebody. Tell us about your coaching. How do you talk to people?
So one of the things that I really love doing is sitting down with my clients and figuring out what they want in life, because oftentimes we live by society's defaults and not our own design. And when we're kids, children have this unbelievable way of just really getting into their imagination and creating this whole fantasy world. And it's just so much beauty that they have. And then when we grow into adulthood, we forget to be imaginative. We forget to dream. And we start becoming this mold that society puts us in. And we start either working with what we're told is the right job, even our spouses, right? Like we might feel that, oh, well, this is the type of wife I have to be. This is the type of husband I have to be, because that's what society says. And you're not creative in your own family unit, your own relationships, because you forgot how to be creative and live the life you want. And the more you love yourself, the more you can love someone else. So I really love to figure out what they want. Even if they don't know what it is, we'll take time to figure it out.
One of the first things that you have to do to find out is not talk. It's listen. You have to listen. And how important is listening in your line of what you do? When it comes to it, is that the most important thing that you do?
Absolutely. And as a life coach, one of the things that I express to people is that I'm not going to tell you what to do or how to live your life. Right? I'm not going to give you the advice that you're seeking. Um, because you first need to figure out what it is that you're seeking. So listening is the most important thing as a life coach. Once you listen, you then need to reflect back to them what they said. Because sometimes they're saying something and they might not even really be listening to themselves. And then when you reflect back, they might have that moment. Even though they said it, they didn't realize that they said it.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, there are keywords you can pick up when somebody's talking, and they they say the word without even, as you said, without even knowing that they really said it, and they can lead you in a direction. One, you can ask them a certain question, and it's like, well, why do you feel this way? And you might even confuse them because they don't realize deep in their mind that, wow, I do feel that way. How often have you come across that to where you surprise people by saying, well, according to your statement, this is what you're feeling. Why are you feeling that? And they turn around and look at you and go, wow, I guess I do feel that way.
Oh, absolutely. And one of the things that, as a coach, I always try and get them to speak more. So I might reflect back what they said, and then I might ask them, tell me more about that. What makes you think that? Or what about this? And how do you feel about that? So it's constantly questioning, because oftentimes what gets us stuck is that we don't know what questions to ask ourselves.
Hmm.
So having that other perspective really helps.
Is there, have you found, um, have you found that there are people who can be too close to a situation and it's harder for them to talk? Uh, you know, to somebody, like if you're trying to say talk to your parents, have, have you found times when people kind of shut down because they can't talk to somebody because they're too close to the situation? They see this as a normal, and they need an outsiders, they need somebody from the outside to step in and say, this isn't right. Yeah, I mean, I understand what you're saying, but this isn't right, this isn't normal.
Oh, absolutely. When you're too close to someone, um, and I've even experienced this with my own family, they really do, they want the best for you. Oftentimes they tell you things and maybe just, I don't want to say discourage you, but they might want to, they're just trying to protect you. So if you have this big audacious goal, right? Like I had these big goals when I was younger, and my family was just afraid that being disabled, I might get hurt, right? Either physically or emotionally. A lot of times they just want to guard you emotionally from the outside world. And you need to speak to someone else outside of your family unit, outside, even your friends. You might have a best friend, and you think that, well, they're my best friend, they're gonna have my back, they're always gonna
Hmm.
be there for me, and which is true. They are your best friend, but you need an outsider. You need someone that will just listen to you, no judgment, um, and will not try and convince you otherwise, right? If this is really what you want and this is really how you're feeling, I'm here to listen to you, not to tell you, oh no, you're absolutely crazy. You can't do that.
Crazy is a terrible word to use, really. um you know and I always tell people that, if you want to be like somebody, if you want to be exactly like somebody, it's easy to do. All you got to do is ask them what they think you should do, and they're going to pretty much tell you exactly, how you can be just like them. I think it's a lot better if you take and really figure things out, and you're true to yourself, because if you're not, then you're living a lie, and it does nobody any good. You're never going to be happy living somebody else's life. It's just like, when we talk about the discouragement of people not getting along with each other and stuff like that. We'd all be miserable if everybody lived. If there was another, I'm telling you right now, if there was another Zach Clayton, I would be on an endless mission to find him and hurt that guy, because he doesn't need to be me. So, there's one of us, that's enough, but I really think that being true to yourself is a way that you can make a bigger impact, not only with yourself, but others.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And what would be the first bit of suggestion that you would give somebody who's trying to find themselves? Like, is there an exercise that you could give them to maybe go through and maybe look at this exercise and really find what they're looking for when it comes to themselves?
Yeah, one of my best tool that I love to give people is the power of journaling, because when you're journaling, no one else is there but you and that piece of paper or the keyboard, and you're just, it's that opportunity that you have, that you can be free. And don't even worry about writing cohesive sentences, right? Just write whatever you think about, whether it's just random words or thoughts or feelings, your likes, your dislikes, whatever angers you at the moment, your gratitude, right? Like, just put all these things down and then just forget about it for a while. And then later on, go back and read it. You'll be really surprised the new perspective that you'll find once you reread everything that you wrote. You might even ask yourself, wow, I was really feeling like that? Like, I wonder why that popped into my head, right? And then these are things that you can then take to your coach, and you can discuss it and try and figure it out together.
Yeah, that's a great thing. I know that there were a lot of times when I sat down to write something, and I would start writing something out, and next thing I know, I was feeling different because I got it out of my system. It didn't take yelling at somebody else to do, which is something I've been known to do in past times. That I was very, I did have an anger problem, and I guess I do sometimes still, but it's not near like it used to be. But yeah, writing things down every once in a while gives me another avenue to work it out and figure out. Sometimes, when you look at it and you look at it as a problem, you can go, this isn't near as serious as I thought it was.
Yeah.
What am I doing making this into this huge issue when it's, I didn't have any green Fruit Loops. Why am I making, this terrible mess of my life because, something didn't go this exact way. Oh, and look at this. It may have even benefited me.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. But the beauty of also journaling is that, again, nobody else sees it. So you can go and say, man, the other day, Denise really pissed me off when she said blah, 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 blah. And at least it's out of your system. The next time that you see that person, it's done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like I said, I love doing, I do. I like to write every once, and I don't do it near enough. I'll be honest. Before my most recent life change, which is moving in with Adrian, and I used to write all the time, but that's because I was alone and didn't sleep very well. So And it was kind of one of those things that I always tell people, if I need to, if I need to find a way to fall asleep, I'll either read or write. Because next thing I know, I'll wake up and I'll have ink all over my forehead, or, I'll be drooling all over the book or something. Those are two ways to instantly make me go to sleep. So, but some people have a difficulty writing.
Yeah.
How can you tell them, how can you help them make the decision to start writing? And I
Well,
guess one of the things that I would have to say with this is there doesn't have to be a structure. It doesn't have to be a page long. It can be a sentence. But how would you go with that?
so two things with that. Absolutely, it could just be a couple of words or just single words, right? But you made a point when you said that not everyone likes to write. So what if you voiced it, right? Because sometimes we want to speak it out, right? What if you did like a video just for you, right? And then you can look at it later on. It's just a matter of getting it from the emotional of anger and I don't know what to do. I don't know. Like, I'm just so, I got to get it out of me. So if you don't want to write, video might be a way to go, right? It's just something that's just, no one else needs to see it or hear it. You can even erase it afterwards. Or people sometimes have this thing where they write things down and they might read it for that moment. They might not even reread it. They'll just write it, burn it, throw it away. Right?
It still served its purpose. It still gets it out of your soul. It gets it, it gets it out of your soul. It allows you to burn it off, and nobody else really gets affected by it.
Exactly.
And that is such a great idea. We're asking people today, Denise, for your SOS. If you have a story that you've heard from a veteran, or if you have a suggestion on how to talk to somebody who is contemplating on making an end of life decision, would you be able to help us with that question? I know it's a difficult question, but I think it's a very important question because we really need to learn. We need to find the easiest way we can to talk to somebody who's trying to make this end of life decision. It's very difficult.
So I have a story that I'd like to share, please.
That's perfect.
So with my disability, I have something called spinal muscular atrophy, and it is a progressive disability. And there was a young woman, her name was Jerica, and she had the same disability that I have. And she made a choice, her and her family made a choice to end her life. She was in a lot of pain. And the disability was only going to get worse. The pain was going to get worse. She was going to get weaker. And I do not know her personally, but when I heard of her story, and she was having a party, a going away party. She had a huge turnout for this party that she was having. And years later, before there was no treatment for what I have, and now there's a few things that people are able to take as a treatment to slow down progression. And when I think of slowing down progression, I see, not only do I see the fact that now we have something to slow it down, but that to me is like even more hope, because once you slow it down, there's going to be more things coming out. Science is so advanced. And if I could have just had the opportunity to speak to Jerica and say, just hold on, honey, hold on, something's going to come. And that's the same thing that I would tell all the vets, whether you are dealing with trauma, whether it's an invisible disability or a visible disability, hang on, hang on, hang on. Find someone to talk to. Just know that there's someone out there who will be there for you. We are here for you, and it will get better. It will get better because we love, and we have to be there for each other and not give up on this beautiful, beautiful world, our life, our loved ones that love.
Yeah.
Hold on, love.
That's really, I mean, it's a heartbreaking story, but it's a beautiful message because it's true. If you give up, you're not giving up on just yourself, you're giving up on everything. And as much as you think that you might be doing a service to people, you're not. You're really not. And look, we all have that time in our life when we think, am I doing this right? What am I doing? Am I going in the right direction? That's okay. It's okay to have that question. It's okay to question what you're doing. It's natural. But just know that there are people out there. Please know that there are people out here who do care. Um, you know, uh, how do people get a hold of you, Denise?
So you can go to my website at livecreativelyinc.com, or you can connect with me on WhatsApp, 516-382-8189, or you can text me. I really want to be there for you. I really want you to know that you've given so much for all of us. And now it's really time for us to give back to you, because we want to, because we love you.
Well, I want to tell you thank you very much. I know that it's not as early for you as it is for others, but it's actually pretty late for you. You're a night owl, out there partying like a rock star. So, but yeah, but Denise, it's been great to get to talk to you tonight on our first attempt at doing something and making a difference, and we're going to repeat this over and over and over again today, and I think that you can agree with this. It's time that we stop reacting, because reacting is acting after the fact. We need to get ahead of this. So please make sure, if you have any problems, if you would like to talk to Denise, you can always contact me and I can get you in touch with her. I have her phone number. I know how to text her. I know how to get a hold of her. You can also find her on LinkedIn. You can find her on Facebook. You can find her anywhere. Her website is right there on your screen right now. Make sure that you reach out. She's full of love. She's full of hope, and she's full of fun. She's our captain for the Happy Neighborhood Project on Thursdays at 3 p.m. Eastern, on Ability. And we really have a lot of fun trying to cater to people who like to support people with abilities. And and you don't have to be disabled to be in the group. You don't have to, you know, uh, you just have to want to be with our group, and we want to have you. So if you want to know how, go to Happy Neighborhood Project or hmp.com, correct?
It's hmpabc.com.
hmpabc.com, and go and look on Thursday and find abilities and click on that little tab that says register, and it's free. You get to join us for free. You get to come in, you get to meet a lot of great people. You'll get to hear from Captain Denise. You'll get to hear more of our stories and learn more about our visions and what we do. Denise, I thank you so much for 30 minutes of your time. You're such a fantastic person. I love you to death. I cannot wait until we get everything up and running, and we get you on the regular podcast, and we've got a lot of new things coming with that. The pACT channel is going to start picking up other podcasts now on Facebook, so we're going to be the landing spot for a lot of fun activities. But so again, thank you, my dear. Thank you. Thank you. You have a great day, and I look forward to seeing you at 3:00 your time.
Absolutely. Until then, stay happy, stay positive, and always live creatively.
Thank you. Once again, everybody, that's Denise Vargas. Thank you very much, my dear. Denise is she's a really good friend of mine out of the New York area. You know, she's just another example of somebody who's lived in struggle, but found a way. There you go. I love that. Yep. H&P ability. Yep. So, and we're being joined again by my buddy Jay. He didn't fall asleep, thank God.
No, I kept myself busy.
Look at that. There's sound. We found sound.
Yeah, I don't know what was up with the first one, but for some reason it just didn't seem to work right. But that second link worked.
All right. Well, that's good. Yeah, I think I accidentally pressed on the wrong link, just to let you know. But once again, 2 a.m. 2 a.m. I'm just going to leave it at that.
You're forgiven. No problem.
So
typical.
Jay, you are with a great company called TotalSpeed.co. You guys have so many things when it comes to website. You have website builders, you have domain names, email addresses, security, you have storage, you have all this. And one of the greatest things about you is when they make a purchase from you, you will donate to the mission of their choice because you're part of our family. You're part of our fundraising family. So all they have to do is call you and say, hey, Jay, you know what? I found out about you through Community Pay It Forward fundraising program. And you're going to say, that's great. Let's get you hooked up and let's donate to a mission. So tell us a little bit about your history with Total Speed, because you started with another brand and made the purchase of Total Speed, and you've just grown it since.
Yeah, actually, I was a customer. I started in this field, so to speak, in '97 when at that time dial-up was just becoming popular, and my company didn't originally intend to do that, but because so many of our customers were asking us about it, we became dial-up providers. And we did that for a number of years. And we also got into hosting and email and the other things that you do. And then we migrated how we did it. In other words, we used to have what are called dedicated servers, where you keep all of your data on a server at another location. And we had a couple of problems with that. And the biggest problem was that you don't have access to your own servers. You can't go there and actually use them and do anything with them. So if something happened, you were relying on other people to get everything working again. And no one else cares about your company as much as you do. So we moved to what are called co-located servers, where we bought all our own servers and we kept them at a facility. And the company that we found that did a good job of that for us was Total Speed. And I got to know the owners, and I used their company for a number of years. And then in 2008, they came to me and said that they were thinking of selling the business. And they had offers from companies like Earthlink, but these companies wanted to jack up the rates on their customers. And because they had cultivated this business just like I did, one by one, customer by customer, a lot of people that we know, that are friends, that are associates. Hold on. Okay, my device heard something and it's trying to answer a question. Okay.
We have that problem every time we talk now.
It hears it, yeah, and there's so many microphones, you know. It's doing it again. It's trying to play something, but it can't figure out how. Okay, so they offered the company to me, and they would rather have sold it to me than anyone else, and I saw it as a good opportunity. And at that time, Total Speed was a lot bigger than my company was. So I took a big bite by buying a company many times larger than mine. But that was a wonderful way to increase business, obviously, is buying it. And Total Speed had bought 4 other ISPs before I bought Total Speed. So you could say I own 6 companies because I bought 5 of them. Anyway, then I merged the companies together and I consolidated everything on the website. And that turned out to be a really good move, because right after I bought the business was when the world economy crashed, you know, and most of my customers are small businesses who got very nervous when the financial markets went haywire, you know. So by having purchased the company, by having changed the way the servers work, by changing the price structures and everything, I was able to keep the company profitable. But had the original owners kept it, I think they wouldn't have been able to have made it through that period.
You offer some.
Then when the virus came out 2 years ago,
Yeah.
Everyone was stuck at home, and my company services are mostly do-it-yourself. So people now had time to design websites. They purchased domain names, they called their support, and they really took advantage of the services we offer, which is the best thing for everyone.
Yeah, and a couple of things that you offer. I mean, you mentioned them. Small businesses, you know, when you start a small business, you start with one thing. You're broke. Okay. You usually don't start with a $1 million bank account. You help people because your prices are so much better than either of the 2 website builders that are on TV. I don't even want to mention their names. But yeah, and your website builder is so easy to use. It is so easy to use.
Well, actually, Zach, the current iteration of our website builder is very much structured the way WordPress is structured. If you've ever designed a website using WordPress, which millions of people use, it's very popular. We've kind of gone that way. And one of the things that's cool about that is you can actually design your website on your phone. Previous versions, you wanted a big screen, you wanted a mouse, you wanted, you know, as much visibility and surface area as you could get. Now, I mean, I was waiting in line once for tickets, and I worked on my website while I was standing there. I couldn't believe it. So yeah, they've certainly simplified things and made it easier for the common person, you know, without you don't have to take courses. Let's put it that way.
I got to tell you this, though. I don't think I could build my website on the phone. I like to throw things. And if my phone's what I'm going to throw in when I'm building my website, probably not good for the phone. But you also have...
Yeah, but remember, you're working directly with the server. So as soon as you click save, it's saved. And most of these things save automatically, even if you don't. So even if you dropped your phone or it got run over by a car or something, your website would be done.
Yeah. So we also just recently launched the new community payitforward.us. You are hosting our website, and your prices are so affordable. I mean, it's insanely affordable when you look at other people. Okay. And then you have the added benefit of US based service, community service, customer service. you call somebody, and I'm going to tell you, sometimes they get a little behind, but their little behind is nowhere near as long, and it's easy to contact. You try to contact somebody. All right, I'm going to name them. You try to contact somebody from Wix, you're going to be looking for hours for a phone number, and then of course
Is
you're going to
that
have to
so? I've
talk
never
to them.
tried that. Wow, that's good to know.
Yeah, and I mean, the one time I tried to, I tried to call Wix a couple times, and I just got so frustrated, and I ended up dropping off because I was just like, I can't do this no more.
Well,
Thank
when it
God
comes
now.
to web design, support is important. For certain things, people can figure it out themselves. But I mean, we include 24/7 phone support with everything. But especially for web design, I mean, unless you're already very experienced, that's something you want to be able to pick up the phone and get an answer and get help.
Right. And you also offer a 30-day money-back guarantee, which is great because you know what? It gives you a chance to play with it a little bit and make sure it is right for you. You're not going to get that with other places.
I started in computers decades ago as a programmer, and I learned very quickly that everyone has different preferences. Some people like a menu that's vertical. Some people like a menu that's horizontal. There's no way you can please everyone, and programmers have been trying that since the beginning. We used to put everything into a program, but people felt it was too complicated. If you put not enough in the program, it doesn't do much. So we came out with the idea of menus where you can choose beginner level or expert level, and the expert level gives you more choices. So we keep on trying to adapt, and now we're trying to make it so that desktop versions and mobile versions look the same, so people don't have to learn two different views. The operating systems are constantly evolving, and we are too. And that's part of what's fun about what I do is I get to help people can keep up with technology. Things change.
That is one of the other good things that you have over the other two is that when you are building it, it is like WordPress, where as soon as you build it, it stays that way on the mobile device. So your mobile device looks like your screen, looks like your computer screen. That is so great because when I was with the other program, when I built my website, I always had to take, and if I would forget to check the way that the mobile one looked, I'd go and look at it sometime, and it would have everything all mixed up and things everywhere. It was so annoying, and that was the one thing with yours that I noticed, that as soon as you put it in, you looked at the mobile, and oh my God, it looks almost identical. This is how I wanted it to look.
Yeah, it's actually, you don't even have to know about it. It's automatic. Even if a person were using our service and didn't know this, it wouldn't matter. It automatically creates the mobile version. The interesting thing about that is we used to charge $50 a year extra for that feature, but we now no longer charge extra for it, and we include it. Same thing with the SSLs, which is the security. There were some people that were buying websites and not making them secure. And both of those are things that Google and the other search engines look for. If your site isn't secure, and if you don't have a mobile version, they penalize you in the rankings, and people are not going to find you when they do Google searches, which is where you want to be found. So we include both of those, which used to cost extra, with the cost of our website builder, so that people will always be optimized for Google, and they'll always have their site the way their customers expect it.
Like I said, I know that
people can't make mistakes. They can't forget to order it or add it or set it up. It's done, and they don't even have to know about it. And what you were saying before about the prices, one of the reasons our prices are so good, depending on what you compare it to, is that our service is designed to be do-it-yourself. I talk about this a lot, because people don't really understand. You can hire people to do everything for you, or you can do things yourself. But generally, you want to hire people when it's something you can't do. I can't rebuild an engine on my car, so I'm going to hire a competent mechanic. But if it's made in such a way, if changing an engine in a car were as simple as pressing two buttons, well, I wouldn't really need a mechanic. And
right.
that's where we're headed with this sort of thing. Our WordPress servers make backups automatically, so does our website builder. You can't even forget. It's not even something you have to do. And with our search engine optimization service, you sign into your account and you click one button. The button's called submit. Now, do you really need to pay hundreds of dollars a month? to another company when you can pay us less than $6 because all you have to do is click a button? I think most people are pretty competent. They can do that.
Yeah.
And most small businesses are happy to save thousands a year on something they didn't need to pay someone else to do. If you don't understand the technology and you think that, oh, well, I have to pay a ton of money to someone else to do all these things, that's one way to go. But a lot of businesses are realizing these website builders have been popular for about 15 years now. And a lot of companies use them. They realize that hiring designers can be a money pit, and it may not yield better results. I mean, look at the websites you've created. Look, I've seen some of what our customers have put together. They're beautiful. They're very professional, and they're very proud of what they've done. You take pride in your website when you're the one who created it.
Yeah. And, it's a website really is more than just a tool. I mean, it really is. It's something that you have built. It's something that you try really, really hard to make sure that, expresses yourself, and you get, people will, you get to show yourself. And I know that now people are using them for registries for weddings and all this other stuff. And why would you want to spend hundreds and thousands of dollars for somebody else to build something when you're talking about your wedding? Let's talk about your future. Let's put you as, in front of everything. And one of the other things that you guys offer is your security with your within your system is so wonderful because it takes and it backs it up nightly, right?
It depends on which service we're talking about, but most of them do. Yeah, some servers you have to set to do that, but our WordPress servers, our website builders automatically make backups, and they automatically save. You can be working on your site and walk away, and your computer can freeze. It won't affect anything.
Yeah, like I said, I know that Community Pay It Forward. Ever since we met a couple 5 years ago, something like that. You and I have been partners, and you were actually you were my first partner in the 1BC world, and you run a 1BC meeting every Friday. That is a lot of fun and a lot of different than anything else 1BC does. Why don't you go ahead and give us a little bit of
that's because the guy who runs one business doesn't like to try new settings and new options, so he never learned how to do breakout rooms. And so I said, okay, I'll take a look at it. It wasn't difficult, and I enjoy it. And so now what we do is every Friday at noon Mountain Time, we do a what we call Breakout with Jay every Friday. It's not the best rhyme in the world, but it's getting there. And we do an hour, and we do quick introductions. Then we jump right into the breakout room. For anyone who doesn't know what that is, that's a feature of Zoom where you can subdivide the people who are joining the group into small groups. So rather than having 20 or 50 or hundreds of people in a meeting, each person is one-on-one with another person. And we do that for 8 to 10 minutes so that each person gets a good amount of time to talk with the other person, and then we come back to the main room, and then we break again. If you've never done it, it's a fantastic networking tool because it's much more efficient than being a spectator at a meeting when you're actually involved and you're one-on-one with people. And the best part is you don't need to make appointments. You don't need to go to their online schedulers. You're by the time the meeting is over, you've had 4 or 5 one-on-ones and you're done. So it's been tremendous. We've had very favorable response from the people who've joined us.
And generally, in a lot of other networking programs, you get to meet maybe, a group, 1 or 2. This is a one-on-one with, like you said, at least 4 people, and it's good, it's quick, it's fun, and it's a great way to meet somebody because what you do is, you're talking directly to one other person. You're not in another group. Jay puts it to where you're not going to be in the same room with somebody twice because we want to make sure that you get to talk to more people. So it's a wonderful show. And I mean, if you guys want to know a little bit more about it, you guys can contact us or and we can send you the information and you can join Jay. We try to get on there every other week at least. We have a lot of friends on there. So we've got a couple friends who are going to be popping on today.
So wonderful. place to make friends. It's not
Oh,
just
yeah.
a business thing. It's you can, create associations with people, and you can make power partners, and you can make referral partners. It isn't necessarily just a sales tool or a referral tool, but it's great for that too. I find that by having one-on-ones like that, I get to know things about people that you wouldn't know in a normal meeting. Very often those things can be important. Oh, I didn't know you also did this, or I didn't know you went to school down the block from where I went to school, or things that you'd never come across in the impersonal meetings that most networkers groups put on.
Yeah. So Jay, to get a hold of you, all they got to do is go to totalspeed.co. That's all you need to know.
Well, actually, if you go to, that's true, totalspeed.co is all you need to know. But if you go to, you said about contacting me. We have a website at totalspeed.com, C-O-M, which is what we call our landing page. And that site tells you about our company. And through that site, you can contact me directly. And you can also set up a one-on-one, a Zoom virtual meeting, if you like, with our online scheduler. But the totalspeed.co wouldn't allow you to contact me directly. You would be able to contact our support. And our support is available 24/7. I'm not. So the support would be what you would want. And our support number is right at the top of the website.
That's right. It's not hard to find. You don't have to Google, hey, where's Jay's phone number? I need Jay's phone number. My website's not working. What's going on here? We need Jay.
It's true.
Right there,
and I love
right
what
up
you
top.
said before when you talked about the experience that you had calling for support, because I think it's funny. Obviously, I'd like to talk about what my company does and how I got involved and all that stuff. But I think that no matter what I could say, what's better than what I could say is what someone else could say when someone does a testimonial. And we do that, we go around and people give testimonials. But the other thing that I get a kick out of, I could get up and I could say, well, we offer this, we offer that, our prices are great. But what's really fun is when I tell people what I call horror stories, which is what you were alluding to before. I had a customer who switched from another company whose name we won't mention, SiteGround, and I needed to call their support to assist him in doing this for him. And there is no number on the website for support. The only way to get a hold of support is you have to fill out a form to request a callback. But the form, which only asks 3 questions, name, phone number, and what are you calling about, gives an error. It says try again later, oops, something went wrong, right? We've seen that. And I think that's so funny because if they can't even get their form to work right, what, and then they don't have to help anyone because you can't request support.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
what a great concept. Run a company, offer support, but make it so they can't get it.
Hey, I guess that's one way to save money in the business world, right?
But I just think it's funny because I don't have to disparage. I don't have to compete. All I have to do is tell people what the competition is doing. This is what the real world is like. Do you like that? Or would you rather have a company where you can call anytime, get someone? Yeah, it's true. You may have to wait. Usually our hold is 2 to 5 minutes, but there have been times where it's been as long as an hour, depending on time of day and, if there's an issue or something like that. Hey, Zach, before we finish up our time, something I want to tell you about that you might enjoy.
Yeah.
We have discontinued the email service that we have been offering for the past 15 years, which we called Workspace. And we have a new email service now called Professional Email. There are some features that the new mail doesn't have, and obviously features the new mail does have that the old mail didn't. But the new mail is more expensive. The old mail was $20 a year, which we were really happy to be able to do for so long. But obviously, that was just untenable indefinitely. The new mail is $50 a year. Just to put it in perspective, companies like GoDaddy charge $72 for very similar mail to ours. So we're about a third less. But here's the cool thing. You and everyone else who signed up when I was telling everyone about our $20 email are grandfathered in. In other words, if you go to our site now, you'd be paying the new rate. But all of my customers like yourself who signed up before we released the new mail and took advantage of what we offered, you'll get the new mail. You'll be upgraded over the next 2 to 4 months. You'll be notified, but your rate will stay the same. So you will be paying $20 a year for what GoDaddy charges $72 a year for. Totalspeed.co. and you are good to go.
There you go. Hey, Jay, we're asking everybody for an SOS, either a story or a suggestion, something that you would tell somebody if they came to you and wanted to make a end of life decision, or a story about a veteran that you've heard. Can you share something with us? I know it's a tough question, but it's really important for today.
I haven't had that happen. I haven't had anyone come to me with that. And I don't know too many veterans.
Okay. Yeah, I know that I know that not everybody's going to be able to answer that question, but it's one of those things that, we're really trying to make sure that we can open the dialogue, because talking to somebody can really help. And we need to make sure that we're talking to people, and not, making sure that we're not staying quiet. As I'm saying to everybody, that reacting is acting after the fact, and that's too late. So we need to, we're looking for ways to open a conversation, and this isn't just for veterans.
Okay, I've got something.
There you go.
A little bit different than what you asked, but this might be interesting. I saw a podcast earlier, and in the podcast, the person was asked, is there anything you ever heard or was told in your life that has stuck with you, that you've always kept at heart, And he said yes. He said when he was a kid, his father once told him that when you meet a veteran from Vietnam, this was because he's going back. We didn't have all the future wars since then. At that time, he said you should shake his or her hand and thank him and welcome them home, because when they got back from Vietnam, the veterans had a very bad homecoming. A lot of people, derated them, belittled them, and didn't appreciate their sacrifices. And so even now, the man is in his 60s, he says, whenever I meet a veteran, I go up to them and I thank them and I welcome them home. And I remember what my father told me when I was a little kid. I thought that really moved me. I thought that was beautiful.
Back in World War I, World War II, Korea era, our veterans, they came home as heroes. And in Vietnam, they came home and they were seen as even criminals. And, let's be honest. Let's be honest here. Wartime is wartime. There are some stuff that happens there that, shouldn't. But you know what? They were still over there. They were answering the call of our country, and they should.
They didn't want to be there. They didn't want to be there.
Yeah, there's not a single one of them that wanted to be in that sweaty, lice-infested area. And I mean, there's a lot of people who came out of that conflict in a difficult place, personally and physically, mentally. My uncle happens to be one of them. My Uncle Barry. He struggles with Agent Orange illness, cancer from Agent Orange. And you know what, though? He still supports the Marines. He still loves his country. He still loves his country. And he makes sure it every day that he still loves his country. And he's one of my heroes. He's one of my favorite people in the world. I love when I get to spend some time with him. So, it's just things like that you got to make sure that you appreciate them, because they performed a service. And it's less than 5% of our country that raises their right hand and gives that swears themselves to the service of this country. And so we need to make sure that we take care of them, because that's the best way to take care of us, is to take care of them. So,
and that's why I'm so happy to be part of your organization, Zach, because you do such good work, not just for everyone, families, people in need, but for veterans as well. And who wouldn't want to support that?
You know what? I am proud. I am a proud user of Total Speed. And I don't plan on going anywhere for, as long as I own the company. I know I found a place where I can get things and I can get the service that I need for it. And you're also a great partner. And I just see us as building and growing from here. And I think that I appreciate you struggling through this with me this morning. And you know,
My
as
pleasure.
yeah, as
If the computer would work perfectly, we'd all be out of jobs. So
right, yeah, you know, I mean, maybe someday I'll be a professional at this, but right now, I think I'll just stick to what I do. So, but Jay,
you perform a very necessary role in our environment, in our community, and it's a wonderful thing. And I love supporting you, and I love it when you come to our Friday groups and all that. So it's a win-win for everyone. It really
well,
is.
I appreciate it. And once again, if anybody wants to know the information about how to join the Jay group on Friday, just get a hold of me and I'll introduce you to Jay. It's a great time. Once again, you can find Jay on Facebook. You can find him on all the normal. Are you on LinkedIn?
Yes.
And you are on, he's on LinkedIn. All you got to do is look for Jay Lieber and you're going to find him. So
Or total
Boulder,
speed. Total speed. It's all you need to
yeah,
know.
totalspeed.co. All you need
Yep.
to know.
And I have a shorter one, which is total speed is all you need. If we
Yeah,
really
total
need
speed
to
is all
shorten
you
it
need.
down, there's the short version.
Yep. So, but anyway, Jay, thank you, my brother. Thank you for staying up. Thank you
too,
for
Zach.
joining us this
Your
early in the
efforts are
morning.
extremely appreciated.
So, once again,
Everyone
folks,
go to communitypayitforward.us and learn all about what Zach offers and become a member. If you own a business, become a member with Zach. You have to.
thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you for being such a great ambassador for us. And thank you for all your great words today. And please remember, if you purchase anything today from totalspeed.co, totalspeed.com, Jay will donate to a mission of your choice, somebody who we're trying to help. And what we're doing today is if you want to get involved, we're giving, if you just purchase from him, we're going to give to Save 22. So your purchases today go towards saving lives. And what your purchases every day can go towards saving lives. But today is very special because we're really going to make a push and we're going to try to get our fobs open. We're going to try to get this going because our veterans are well worth it. Jay, thank you very much, my friend. I will see you on Friday.
I'll add one more thing. Yes, certainly if you sign up with us, we donate to Zach, but you can go to Zach's website. You can donate regardless. He would be happy. And he's doing this marathon now. I think you've got about 21 hours left, something like that. So
oh God, no, 20. I've already been on for 2 hours. I've only got 20 left.
2 already. Okay, 20 hours left. So donate to Zach during the Zachathon because this is a big event for Zach and we all want to support him. And I already donated before he started. I jumped right in.
He did. One of the first ones. So, but thank you very much, Jay. I do appreciate it. And I will see you on Friday. Have a great day, my friend.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Once again, that was Jay Lieber. I want to thank J.R. Smith, who came on and joined us first thing this morning. Then we had Reverend Sean, the Rev. Once again, I work with him on Fridays. Such great wisdom. Take it or leave it, but I'm going to take it because what he said today was really encouraging to us, and especially him bringing up that part about the numerology thing. That was fantastic. It was something that, again, I've never really thought much about numerology, but it fits in with the way that things are for today. 222 is a new beginning. That's what it's equaling out to. So it was fantastic. Then we were joined by a great, dear friend, Denise. Such a beautiful, beautiful person. I love her to death. My captain on HMP Ability on Thursdays at 3 p.m. Make sure that you go to hnp.abc.com and you can register for Ability. Contact me. I can help walk you through it. And you just heard from Jay from totalspeed.co. Once again, totalspeed.co. That's all you need to know. We're going to share a very special video from once again our dear friend Denise, and well, here you go. So And again, we're having more microphone problems. JR, you're on. Can you let me know if you can hear me now? I'm hoping everyone can hear me now, but it's really hard to tell. And that scares me. But I think what we're going to do is we'll try this again. Okay, Denise, thank you. Thank you, thank you. So let's try this again. I'm very sorry about that once again. You know what? Hey, first time issues. Can't help it. But let's try this again. That's great. Let me know if you can hear the video now, please, Denise. If you can do that, that would be great. But we're going to try this again because this is a great video and it needs to be seen. So here we go. Here we go. I broke your video, Denise. Yeah, I think I fixed it, but we will see. Let me see what I have to do here. Clear out some of this junk and maybe we can are we going to get any sound now? Nothing like dead air, right, folks? We've got 3 people with us at least, so I appreciate you working with me on this. And I think what I'm going to do right now, okay, I'm going to shut this down for right now, and I'm going to reboot it up, so we'll get going from there. I want to tell you a little bit about what we do on a normal basis as communitypayitforward.com. .us or .com. You can put in .com. That's fine. There's my head again. I got a hole in my head. Literally and physically, or literally and visually. Community Pay It Forward was started 7 years ago when I was run off the road on my motorcycle and left in the ditch for 7 hours. I know a lot of you guys have heard this story over and over and over again, and I'm sorry, but it's really important. I ended up losing a lot of things during my recovery, partially because I wasn't set up correctly, partially because, of the situation I was in. And one of the things I wanted to do was make it easier for other people to find help when they needed it, okay? It's very hard to, for some people to ask for help. And that's one of the problems that we're finding right now with people who need help in asking, but they have trouble asking for help. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to base this activity right here on how we can get that up and going. But at Community Pay It Forward, what we do is we work with great people like Jay, who we just talked to. And all you have to do is make a purchase with them. And then you send us the receipt, a facsimile of the receipt, and you tell us where you want that money to go. Today, we're hoping that most of that money goes to Save 22, because that's what this goal is for today. We're trying to build the FOBs. We were joined by Brian in a little bit, and here in about 3 hours, Brian's going to be with us, and he's going to introduce you to the FOB. He's going to walk around. He's going to take an hour. He's going to introduce you to the FOB, show you what a FOB is, show you what this is all about, explain his situation, where he comes from, and why it's so important to get this done. Brian literally heard the voice of God and pulled a gun out of his mouth. Okay, this 22 is not a new issue. It's been going on for a long time, but we're waiting for answers. Folks, Brian, JR, Justin, Dr. Blivin, Tim and Brownie, they're all building something. They're all building a solution. And as we talked about in the first hour with JR, in the first segment with JR, there was a report that came out the other day out of Los Angeles on how they need $1 billion to do this. You don't need $1 billion to do this. You know, there's some people that just need to be more creative. That's the way it is. Well, we're not saying the community pay it forward can fund this, because you know what? Every little bit helps, but let's be honest here, this is a little help. But when you turn in one receipt, your neighbor turns in a receipt, your best friend turns in a receipt, the guys at work turn in receipts. Money can add up, and it can add up quick. And you get to choose different different missions that are asking for help. Everything from To Save 22 to a family in need, to children raising money for school or church programs, to startup businesses, to hero causes, to 501c3s, all over. We're just trying to find a way to take care of each other. Because in our eyes, no one needs to go cold when there's clothing not being worn, okay? And you'll hear this again later on, I'm telling you, but no one needs to go cold when you've got clothes in your closet that no longer fit you. Take that hoodie and keep it in your car. You see somebody struggling with cold, offer them that hoodie, give it to them. Let them find relief in what you no longer need. No one needs to go hungry if you've got leftovers in your fridge that, you know what, I'm not going to eat that. I don't eat leftovers. Put it in an old butter bowl. Heat it up. Take it out to somebody that you know where they're at that needs help. So there you go. Give a buck about Veterans Day today. You know, the thing is that we can do this, and we can do it together. And community pay it forward has made it so easy. We're not asking you to round up to the nearest dollar. We're not asking you to pull out your wallet a second time. Make a purchase from people like our good buddy Jay. Make a purchase from him. Build your wedding website. Build a website for your small business, for your micro business. It's a lot cheaper than the other guys. And you don't have to sign the long-term contract with them. You know, to get that great domain cost that you get from one of the other two brands, Wix or GoDaddy, you have to sign a long-term contract with them, okay? Or you don't get it. I purchased my website, my domain names, and I didn't own a website through Jay. I built my website later, okay? But I was able to purchase the domain names very inexpensive. I looked it up in another place, and they wanted 10 times what I paid. We now own communitypayitforward.us and communitypayitforward.com, and we paid less than we would have paid for one of them at any other site. So all you got to do is make a purchase with them, turn in a facsimile of your receipt. We've got a great place on the website, communitypayitforward.us. Just go on there and it says attach your receipt. Just go in there and you can pick your mission, whether it's JR with the Veterans Ranch, whether it's Brian with Project Die Hard, whether it's, you know, whoever it is, a family, whoever it is, whether it's JR and Brian and Justin and all of them on To Save 22. It doesn't matter who you support. All you got to do is purchase with one of our partners, and we've got over 100 of them. Purchase with one of our partners, and they're going to give back just for you being part of their family, purchasing from them. So all you have to do is go to one of our partners, make a purchase, and they're going to donate. They basically give us a finder's fee, and we're going to turn around 80% of that referral fee, 80% to a cause, to a mission that touches your heart. So it's a real win-win situation. There's just really not another way to put it. This is as far as I'm concerned, we're aimed at making this the easiest way for you to fundraise, because we're not asking you to put out more money. It's not what this is about. Make the payment of the stuff that you and your family need. All you got to do is make that payment. And when you do that, we'll donate to the mission of your choice, because it's that important for us to come together, to make it easier for people to donate. And one of the other great things about it is that you get to learn so much more about some of the great missions out there. You know, we're hoping that some of you have never, when you join us today, if you haven't heard about Project Die Hard, if you haven't heard about the Veterans Ranch, you're going to walk away knowing more about these missions than you've ever known before. That even if you have heard of them, we want you to know everything about these missions. We want you to be able to tell another person, look, you got to check out what these guys are doing. This is ground, this is ground floor. These guys are starting from here, but what they're going to do is help millions, save lives. That's the important part. And being able to tell the stories of these great organizations is something that I'm so proud to be part of it, because, being able to tell JR's story, being able to tell Brian's story, it means a lot to me that they trust me with that story to where I can tell it to people. It means a lot to me that they give me the accessibility to their organizations to tell you about them, to introduce you to them. It takes a lot of trust for somebody to say, yeah, I'll give you a shot. Go on ahead. Let's raise some money together, And we're starting out. We're starting some new stuff. We just got the new website up and running. We're starting from ground level again, and, I know I've said that quite a bit over the last 7 years, but we're really proud of where we're at right now. I think that we're in a great place, and I think that very soon, very, very soon, that you're going to be using us for all of your fundraising needs, for any time that your family needs help. This is the easiest way in the world to do it. All you got to do is make a purchase and you can help somebody. Your purchases can become a lifeline to people in need. So if you need to know more information, just give us just send us an email at networking@communitypayitforward.us, networking@communitypayitforward.us. You can reach out to us by messenger right here on Facebook. Send us a message. We'll get back to you as soon as we possibly can. Probably not today. I think I got something going on today. I can't remember, but probably not today. But we're going to get back to you as soon as we can. We want to help you out. That is our mission. We just want to make sure that we're getting a hold of you. We're getting a hold of everybody else. So we're going to try this again. We're going to try to share our page again and see if we can get this done. So we're going to try it again. If you guys can let me know if you hear it or not, that would be a great help. But here we go. Well, it's not working yet. So we're going to let it cycle for a little bit. And we're going to go on ahead and continue. Just to give you guys a little bit of a heads up on what's going on. You can find our daily activities on the Facebook page. If you just scroll down a little bit, you'll see all of our guests. Our next guest is going to be at 6 a.m. Mountain, so in about 2 hours. Wow, 2 hours. It's Amelia Nash. And then at 7 a.m., we're going to be visiting with Brian Gibson from Project Die Hard. He's going to be taking about an hour to walk you through the FOB, introduce you to the FOB and everything that they've got going on. Then we're going to be joined by another one of my paranormal friends, but this one's a little bit different. She's currently serving in the reserves, and she has training to help people in these situations. So it's, she's very, very important in what we're trying to do today. So, we just want to make sure that that you guys get to hear this from all points of view. We get the best available. You can, there's so many ways that you can talk to people. Denise shared a wonderful story, and I'm telling you, I'm going to get her video to work sometime today. I may have to stop and reboot the computer. Go figure that would have to happen. But if it happens, it happens. But you can purchase tickets on by going to 2-22 to save22.com for an event that's going on in Wisconsin today. Purchase a ticket, you might win $500. Every time that you give us a donation, down here on the bottom of the page at our job form, and I'm going to end up putting that on our Facebook page, you're in a drawing to win a prize, whether it's a cooling towel, and of course I don't have one with me, whether it's a Zephyr hat, or of course our book that was signed by my buddy, the Reverend Sean Winnington. So once again, we've got so much going on. Our mission today is to talk about SOS, stories or a suggestion. And my story is going to be heard a couple times, partly because, I'm here. So my story is from my grandfather on my father's side. And I had to do an interview once in school, and my suggestion to you guys, one of the reasons why this is so important to me, is I wish I would have listened to this story with more attentiveness. I wish I would have really paid more attention to it, because what I can remember of the story is it's heartbreaking, and it was one of the toughest men I ever knew, and I watched him break down, and it hurt me. It hurts me now that I didn't listen to him close enough, and I realized that I didn't do his story justice. But the story that he told is part of my everyday life. It just is, and it's a simple story. He was a medic in France, and we all know what happened in France. It was a mess, and he was a ground medic in France, and he told me about how kids would come in that had no reason to have a heartbeat. They were basically dead when they got there, and he watched them go home. And then he also told me about the kids who came in walking and never left. And it was just, it's heartbreaking to me that there are people who have to, that have gone through stuff like this. You're going to hear a similar story with Brian. Brian's had a very, very similar situation. And it's amazing to me that, back in World War II era, this was shell shock. Many of you guys have heard the story about Patton, where he went and he slapped a soldier because he was a wimp. He was shell shocked. He needed to get back on the line and get back there to fight. Our past generations, they didn't get taken care of the way that they should have. There weren't the programs that are out there now. And so lives were shorter. Lives have always progressed. They've always gotten a little bit longer. We know this. That's just healthcare systems, all the other stuff, that just happens. But it was one of those things that when my grandfather told me this story, it made me understand him a lot better. My grandfather for the longest time was a heavy drinker. Towards the end of his life, he gave up that demon, but he used drink to cope. And he would flat out tell you that that's one of the reasons why he drank as much as he did. It was because he tried to drink to forget, and he never forgot. And one of the things that makes this a very special story to me is that he didn't talk to a lot of people about this. He didn't tell a lot of people about his story. He very rarely talked to my own father about this story. And I know that, I know my dad told me that once, and it kind of shocked me that that, I got this information and my dad didn't. But it's a story that I still love. I still think about every day, and it still touches my heart every day. It truly, truly does. Because this was something that they saw, okay? He experienced this. There's nothing in my life that I've ever done that I could experience something like that. So me as a civilian trying to go up to somebody and tell somebody, hey, let me help you. Let me help you. I understand. I can't do that. I can't say that. I don't understand. I've never been in a situation like that. I couldn't tell you the hell that he went through. But the one thing I can do, and Brian brings this up often in our meetings, and it's a very, very good point. And if you're going to offer to listen, be prepared to listen. It's not going to be pretty. These stories aren't pretty. They're not. Somebody's not going to make an end-of-life decision because they got a new puppy. It's just not going to happen. There's going to be issues there. Talking is good. Listening is better. But you got to listen. You got to listen actively. Okay? I didn't do my job. I was a kid. But now I regret not listening, because that's such a great story, and I wish I knew more about it. And we really, really, really need people to start understanding that there are, look, money heals. Money does heal. But that's not the only thing out there. Listening to somebody's situation and understanding somebody's situation. There's that new commercial that's out right now that I was talking to Adrian last night. I was talking to her, last night, that it drives me crazy because you have one person that says, oh, it's all in your mind, or don't worry about it, fake it until it's better. And it scares the hell out of me that that's actual thought by people. Of course, the one that drives me crazy, well, it's because you're a Leo. Well, no, I'm a human. But, there are people who actually do think that out there. Problems don't just go away on their own. There's never been a problem that's been solved by somebody forgetting about it. That problem's still there. You got to work through it. And there are times when problems are just too much for one person to handle. We're asking you to do something simple, okay? We're asking you to listen to this person. Or if you don't feel like you're able to listen to them, make sure that you reach out to people. If you keep looking in our comments today, you're going to see phone numbers pop up all the time. These are phone numbers of people who can help you. If you know the first part of talking is listen, that's a very, very great point. There are going to be phone numbers that are going to be popping up all the time. Make sure you write these phone numbers down. Because if you can't listen to this person, if you don't think that you've got what it takes to listen to them, first off, God bless you for being honest with yourself. If you think that you can go in and you can listen to somebody, and next thing you're doing, you're checking your watch, you're stomping your feet, you're looking around, you're just going to end up making the situation worse. So if you think that you're not able to do it, call some of these numbers that you're going to see today. Contact some of these individuals who have been through this. There are numbers out there that can help you. But as we've said a dozen times already, and we're going to say every hour, reacting is too late. Reacting to this situation is acting after the fact. If we don't get ahead of this problem, together, this problem's only going to get worse. And that's been proven over the last decade with the number 22. The number 22 was scary. 37? Folks, 37. It doesn't need to be this way. Is it going to be easy? No way in hell. No way in hell is it going to be easy. Can we do it? Damn straight. And we can do it. And the way that we're doing it, you know, the coalition that we've started, the work that we're doing right now, okay, would $1 billion be nice to get it started? Sure it would. $1 billion would be great. That'd be fantastic. There'd be FOBs opened in quite a few states soon with $1 billion. But we're asking you for today, think 22. Donate $22. Donate $44. Go once to one organization, once to another. Donate what you can, okay? If you use our link to donate, the one that's at the bottom of your screen right now, if you use that link, it funds all these groups today, okay? Funds all these groups, and we make a difference. We make a stand. We also make a voice, and that voice is telling people we care. We're not just throwing our guts around, and I got a lot of gut to throw around. We're not just throwing our, words around meaninglessly. We're actually trying to use our guts. We're trying to use our voice. We're trying to use our brains together to solve a serious problem. As we were talking about with JR earlier, this is one of those things that, look, this doesn't have to stop here with veterans. There's suicide problems in every aspect of life. But we're starting here because these are our heroes. And Community Pay It Forward, although I'm not a veteran, Community Pay It Forward loves our veterans. As Jay was talking about in the last hour, we carry around, and go figure, I do have them right here. We carry around these little cards everywhere that we go. And these little cards just say, thank you for your service. And then let them know if you know anybody who needs clothing, who needs housewares, who needs food, who needs furniture, call us because we have it for you. We'll get it to you for free. We carry around these cards everywhere. We hand it to every veteran that makes themselves, we make sure that we hand it to every veteran that we can. I spent 2 of the last 3 weekends at the Golden Corral with Bart from Veterans Honoring Veterans, who's going to be with us at 12:30 Mountain Time today. If you guys have never heard of what Bart Bartholomew does here in Colorado for our veterans, please join us at 12:30 Mountain Time, 2:30 Eastern Time. What a fantastic program that is. And it's a simple act that can really change somebody's outlook on life. So please make sure that you join us then too. But if you guys have any questions whatsoever, please make sure you utilize the chat. You're seeing a lot of great conversations coming through by Denise, by Brian, by JR. They're up with us right now. We keep seeing you guys coming in and coming out. Make sure that you try to dedicate 22 minutes today to watching part of this. At least 22 minutes. Try to make sure that you tell at least 22 people about this today. It's easy to do. You all have Facebook, right? Facebook or LinkedIn or something. All you got to do is put it out there. Let people know, hey, check this out. We're raising money. We're doing good today. We're doing it together. It's not a political mission. It's not, there's no politics involved. It's straight up people caring about other people. And that's what we want to do. But we can't do this without your help. Okay. You're going to learn a lot about situations today from many veterans. We've got, this is my schedule for today. That's people all over, all up and down on there. Many different organizations are going to be joining us today. Many different people. We've got comic book writers. We've got more of my partners that are going to be coming on. We've got just concerned individuals like yourself. We're going to hopefully be checking in with the people in Wisconsin. We're going to have a couple extra podcasts. You're going to be meeting Justin Jones today at the 10 o'clock hour. Excuse me, I'm already starting to cough up, guys. This is bad. 2.5 hours in, and I'm already starting to cough up. Oh boy. You're going to be meeting Justin Jones at noon Eastern today with the Mission Continues podcast. Another one of our brothers, another one of our great friends, another veteran who yeah, exactly. Another veteran who is working very, very hard to stop this problem, stop suicide. He's also another veteran who literally pulled the gun out of his mouth. Okay? You're going to hear testimonies from people who understand the situation. Use these testimonies for what you can. Okay? Use them for what they're good for, and that's lessons, learning, direction on what you can do, because that's what today is about. It's about your SOS. So please make sure you do anything and everything you can to stick with us as long as you can today and make a difference, because this is our first time doing this. It's not going to be our last time. But what we want to make sure that we're doing is getting together with you, saving lives. Gotta love live streaming. Gotta love it. All right. Well, we're going to move on from there for right now. We're going to get it. We're going to get it up and running. I just don't know when, but we're going to continue to try. So we'd like to welcome you to the pACT podcast. And we're going to take a real quick moment to let you know. JR, can't wait for Ryan Weaver at 7:30. Ryan Weaver is a country musician who used to have a huge part in the Bull Riders Association. He's a Black Hawk pilot. Great musician, and he's going to take of his time. He's given us a song that we're going to play today, and I'm going to tell you something, man. This guy gave it up, and he didn't have to do it. He didn't have to pay for, we didn't have to pay for it. He donated his service. He donated his time to us, and he's going to help us with our mission. So, then we've got my brother, Darren Roberson. He's also going to be coming on, and he's going to be performing live, probably around 7:30. I'm really looking forward to that. Darren's got a couple new songs coming on, so we're really looking forward to it. We've got somebody who's coming in to join us now. It's Carinder, who's joining us from H&P. How you doing, buddy?
I'm all right. How are you?
Uh-oh, I cannot hear you.
Oh. Can you hear
Oh,
me now?
no, I'm still not able to hear you. I don't know what's going on again, but
Hear me now?
let me see. Can you go on ahead and try to talk?
Yeah. Can you hear me? Yeah. Can you hear me? Oh, Vinny? Can you guys hear me?
All right, we're going to have to give up the ghost there. And We're going to have to try to do something. Just 1 second.
JR?
Maybe this would help if I did it this way.
Yeah. What is wrong? So, understand why. Oh. Oh, you can hear me. JR can hear me. I can't hear you. JR, can you hear that? I hear you, mate.
Okay, let's try it now.
Yeah, now I can hear you.
All right. Well, we're back to the old standby. It not the way I want to do it, but we'll have to get that fixed. We may have to take we may have to take a little bit of a break here pretty soon for me to figure that out, but we'll get to that in a little bit. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm alright. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, doing good. Really glad that you're joining us today.
No worries.
So, where are you at?
I'm in London.
You're in London.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so that's one of the great things. I mean, check this out. We're worldwide right now.
Yeah.
And tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I'm a HNP co-op member, and what HNP is Happy Neighborhood. As you can, if I go that way, you can
Yeah.
see what that is. And what Happy Neighborhood, me and JR, we know each other. And what HNP means is that we are networking. So if I share my screen, and I have walked you through to the Happy Neighborhood.
Yeah.
If that works.
And you're going to be joining us today?
Yep. So if you pull it on the screen, I share the screen. If you pull it up on the screen, then I will have walked you through it.
Yeah, let me do this right here. This is the information for our meeting this afternoon for
Yep.
I just got to find it. No, that's not it. I know it's here somewhere. So,
Hey, JR. Hey, Brian.
great friends of the program.
Yeah, Nini. Hello.
There you go. So anyway, how long have you been part of the Happy Neighborhood Project?
Well, not on LinkedIn, not long, but I just joined because I know a friend of mine who brought me to HNP, and her name was Maria.
Oh, Maria, yes, Maria's a great person. She's
Yeah.
worked really hard to help us through this. So yeah, we love Maria.
She's the one that brought me to HNP, and when I saw it, I thought, wow, this is the best network.
Yep.
And on the Friday, the March the 18th, there's going to be a Happy Neighborhood Happiness International Day.
That's right. The International Day of Happiness. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So,
Yeah.
and
Maybe you're wrong.
you're going to be taking a big part of that, right?
Yeah.
Yep. So, yeah, it's you definitely, Corinder's he's one of the great guys that are in the show. When he's in the program, so he's funny. He makes himself known, and it's a really great time. I thank you for joining us.
Yeah. Also, I made a video. If I can point it up, I made a video on pACT. So here we go. If you
Okay.
want to pull that on the thing and mute my I don't know, I just want to make an announcement about the pACT soil. So this is the sponsor where pACT. So if you want to look this, please go to pACT. I'll put in the link. And if you are into your easily notification free project, then you can see that directly and see who's on there. So easily you can also follow my LinkedIn, our story, event, you can see all the events and you can interact with them, all of them. And especially this was a worldwide one and not the happiness. And then also on that, during the phase last year, which is another season, and then the big last, which is panel ticket, and then the big everything on there, like PM leader, and you can bring all that. And then there's how you can become a member, or if you are a member, you can log in, and this is your follow-up member. You got all the points on here. This is your dashboard, by the way, so you got all the point breakdown. So become a member, become a kind of like AMP member. You can be a partner, be a co-host, invite people for the first time, attend the AMP event, and recently, I know that some point is here, I don't know what my any ending when I'm learning, and this is for this, because certain people, they, now you have to become a certified member, and these are the main things that you can go to, and you'll find photos is when you can invite BNP and you, and then you're winning 1 year to it. So that is that. And yeah, I just like to say happy neighborhood Edwin for this. I know you listen to the podcast. So Edwin, happy neighborhood. Thank you very much for sponsoring my show and check out the neighbor happy neighborhood. Thank you very much. And
Wow, that was
yeah,
great.
so that basically is the happy neighborhood.
Yeah, that was great. Good job on that. You did a wonderful job. So,
Yeah.
well, yeah, I would. What do you do? What is your business?
So for me, I'm an influencer.
You're an influencer, okay?
Yeah. So basically, we, let me show you my image. So,
Well, that's
this is what the intelligence is. So, if you go into my one, which is Amazon.com shop forward slash think I'm putting that, and there we go. So I'm gonna show this on the screen. So basically, this is what I understand by. Uh, so I put it on, I get it on the screen. So if I put it up,
all right. Well, there it is.
yeah, here we go.
So, yep, I'm still working on this whole being a television star type thing. So,
Yeah.
but
So basically, you can see my one from the StreamYard. But StreamYard is basically a pattern. And I'm a StreamYard wizard. And what it is that we have more population from people who subscribe to your either your podcast or your services or your product. And basically, we have so much stuff with Amazon. With Amazon, we there is something from some people don't like. So let me do that again. I don't know why I ended that. Let me do that again. So here's your Amazon, right? So here's basically not this Amazon, right? Go into here, wait a all. Well, first you need to apply first. First you need to apply, and then once you become an influencer, then what you need to do, you have a, like LinkedIn or like any Facebook hire mount. So let's say I want to go to forward slash 9. I can actually see all of the people that is actually going live at the moment. So this is your Italy, this is like Italy, and if I see all the people that go live, I see all the product here. So basically, these are the people that on music go live or LinkedIn, you can see all their product, like what is going. So shop, LC, and all that. Following is within the follow. So basically, like, you know, following here, following there. And then, like, let me, so, and then, once you come up, if it's coming, then you can see the people that are live. So basically, my friend Nick Wood, right? My
all
friend,
right.
yeah, you actually see all the product that he is selling. So, that the all the products that are here, and if I go up to him, and here I have on my phone here comment, And basically, you can see, like, you can see all these products. So, you got your screen, you got your AirPods, and you got all of the campaign here. So, right, um, right now, he's online, and he's showing, okay, he's showing events. So if you click on the link, you actually can buy it, and you actually say, okay, this is the menu for me, let me buy it. So that's how it works.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you know what, Gurinder, I appreciate you coming on today. I
Mhm.
thank you very much for your time. We got to move on, and
Yeah.
looks like we've got JR going to be joining us again. So, but thank you so much for coming on and supporting 2Save22. I will see you at the HNP meeting today at 3 o'clock Eastern. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank
Mhm.
you. Bye. Are you there, brother? Oh, maybe it's not. I don't know. So this this whole this whole fundraising thing is fun, obviously. So hey guys, we are going to do something that I don't want to do, but we kind of got to do it because things aren't working right. I'm going to do a hard shutdown on my computer real quick. So we're going to be back. Okay, we're going to be back in about 10 minutes. So probably about 5:10 or 7:10 Eastern, we will be back live right here on this station. Wherever you're watching, we're going to be back. But we're going to take and try to recycle my computer to reboot it so we can watch some of these great videos. We got music videos coming from so many people. We've got other instructional videos that we really want you to watch. So, but we're going to step away for about 15 minutes. I'm going to say 15 just to be on the safe side, to recycle the computer, and then we'll be right back. But you know what? I'm still going to be talking. So I promise you that'll happen. I will still be talking. So there you go, Denise. This is a perfect words. Stay tuned. Stay in tune. Keep up with what we're doing. Please remember the number 22 today. 22. Make everything about 22 today, okay? 22 minutes. Dedicate 22 minutes, an hour to watching what we're doing. You know, I'm sitting here for 22 hours. Give up at least 22 minutes today to watch what we're doing. Make sure you come in during one of our great partners. Make sure you come in during one of their shows. We've got so many good people. Go back and watch the interviews that we've already had. We just had Corinder on. I thank him very much for joining us. That was very, very grateful. We're very grateful for him for doing this. He's all the way from London. Okay. That's exciting to me because, wow, this ugly face was on in London today. That's amazing to me. So, but we're going to shut down real quick. We're going to shut the computer down. We're going to cycle it through. Then we're going to be right back. I promise you this wasn't meant to be, but it's what it is. So, but here we go. Please remember to love somebody out there because somebody out here loves you. We'll be back in 15 minutes. Thank you. And I'll see you in a few. Stay tuned.